Nigeria's pride shines bright as the Super Falcons soar to new heights with their record extending to the WAFCON title. These talented young women have proven themselves to be true champions, embodying the indomitable Nigerian spirit. The federal government, while celebrating the triumphant return of the Nigerian Super Falcons, described the victory as not just a sporting achievement, but profound testament to the resilience, excellence embodied by the national team. Join us on the program, Nigeria Today, as we explore the team's journey to the championship, including their marches and victory. Welcome to Nigeria Today. I'm Mikaria Clinton. Now with me in the studio to expand on the topic, celebrating the Super Falcons, is Mr. Godwin Nwudobie. He's a sports analyst. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much. My pleasure being here.
Also with us, but via Zoom, is Abdulrahman Ibn Muhammad. He's a sports analyst and a consultant. It's a pleasure to have you on Nigeria Today.
Great to be with you this evening.
Abdulrahman, I'll start off with you. The victory, how does it make you feel?
Well, if there ever was a victory that was very satisfying, the victory of the Super Falcons against the Moroccans is one victory that is most satisfying, given the circumstances, given the way quite a number of us that followed the final match, felt for quite a very long time in that final. This is one victory that is most satisfying because Nigerians had the hope. Remember, the Nigeria Football Federation and the handlers of the Falcons have, christened this crusade in Morocco Mission X, to accomplish Mission X. Those of us who have been attuned to elementary mathematics and arithmetic know that in Roman, figures, X means 10. So there was a sole design by the handlers of the Falcons, the NFF, and journalists as a whole that the Mission X had to be accomplished. And midway into that final, the accomplishment of that mission was, hanging by the thread. And to the glory of God, to the testament of the hard work and resilience of the Super Falcons and their handlers, they came out with the true Nigerian spirit and turned the game on its head, scoring 3 goals. Not many teams will really, have the arsenal and the willpower to come back from 2 goals down before a vociferous home crowd like the Falcons did. They did Nigeria proud. The spirit of the Nigerian never say die was there for us to see. And this is one victory that makes every Nigerian very, very proud.
Thank you very much, Abdulrahman, for that opening remark. Now, Godwin, talk to us. What struck you most about this win?
Well, we really need to go down memory lane if we really want to celebrate the Super Falcons. They've done it just like my senior has said it, Mission X 10 times. They are 10-time champion of the African continent, and it's kudos to them. This is also the Super Falcons that the last Women World Cup shook the world when they engaged the English national team, and they held on for a 120 minutes before they were defeated eventually. So for me, the what shook me in this tournament, going into this tournament, was the quality of players we went into the tournament with. Don't forget, the coach at some point now decided to give the youngsters an opportunity for them to showcase what they had. But when it was seeming getting to a point where it was seeming difficult, they had to now start bringing 1 or 2 of the experienced ones, and they showed class in the final. The lady who scored the winning goal for us, you understand. And for me, the whole team, they had the belief, number one, looking at how they went into the final, how they managed to beat teams, even when the South Africans were making noise. The the other team was defeated 5-0. You understand? So going into the final, it was that this trophy, we must come back with it. You understand? And we now had an uphill task facing the Moroccans. They are the host nation. The fans are supporting them, and they have not won it before. And first half, we were losing 2-0, and it was like, wow. But the belief, the confidence, I believe the understanding, and the psyche of the team, the mentality, the strength of the team came up alive in the second half. When they came into the second half, they came with that belief, that determination that, yes, there are 2 goals down. Yes, there are 2 goals down. And it's like nothing. It's like the match has just started, and you could see how they came into the match vociferous. And for me, kudos to the technical team. That shows how a technical team is supposed to be when you're losing, not conceding defeat, but going into the dressing room, talking to yourselves, having that belief that yes, we can, and coming out strong. And even with the quality of players that came from the bench, you could see how they were able to turn the tide. And kudos to them. Madugu had done a good and wonderful team for them. And I believe with this, going to the World Cup, going to the next World Cup that they've qualified for, I believe the world will certainly hear from us when we get into that World Cup.
Now, Abdulrahman, talk to us. Watching that match, and of course, studying the journey of the Super Falcons, up until when they met Morocco. Watching that that match on the soil of the Morocco people. Now, when the Super Falcons were 2 down, was there a time when you gave up that this will no longer work for us?
It was a battle of my head and my heart. Apparently, what the Super Falcons were out there for, on a mission to accomplish Mission X, was being threatened. The 2 goals that the Moroccans scored, you cannot call them lucky goals, because they knew what they were doing, and certainly they were being prodded by the vociferous thousands of fans that were there for them. So in any situation like this, when a team is playing against the hosts, like my colleague there has stated, the Moroccans have never won it. The last time they hosted the competition, they also lost in the final. So it must be have been at the bottom of their minds that, look, we lost it once. This time around, we got to make sure we did it. And to win, to be 2 goals up against a team like Nigeria would have spurred them to greater heights. So probably during the intermission, part of their team talk would have been, how do we curtail what these Nigerians will be able to throw at us? Because there was no running away from it. If the Falcons wanted to win it, they needed to come out all guns blazing. And quite a number of people, unless you had the hearts and the desire, quite a number of people would have walked away. I was following the game. Remember that no Nigerian television station had the rights to show the game. So those of us that were, by sheer force of will, that we had to follow the game, we devised other means to follow. We followed the game. Those of us that were following, quite a number, if you were on the social media, you would see that a lot of people had given up. A lot of people were accusing Coach Madugu, why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? But like my colleague has stated, Madugu appeared to know what he was doing, because from the bench, Chejine, who came up from the bench, was the one who tapped in the all-important 3rd goal. So a lot of people would have given up, but the girls knew that it was now or never. They were so very near to it. If they lost that opportunity, it would take perhaps another generation. Quite a number of them, like Ohale, the central defender, this probably is her last chance to put her hand on the cup. She has done it before, but age has caught up with her, definitely. Apart from the younger ones whose hunger, especially like the captain Rashidat Ajibade, the hunger in her, and little wonder Ajibat came up, Ajibade came up as the most valuable player in the competition. So it's a combination of experience and new hope and the desire to make sure that this is a golden opportunity. In the whole of footballing history, in at least 3 major continents, prior to this final, there were 3 countries that were on 9 wins apiece, winning their continental version of the championship for the women. In South America, in the Americas, of course, the USA had been winning all along 9 times. In Asia, the Chinese had been winning 9 times. In Africa, Nigeria had been winning 9 times. So it was an opportunity not only to accomplish Mission X for our own purpose, but it was an opportunity to, run ahead of other competitors and make Nigeria the sole occupier of that number one place as the country that has won a particular championship 10 times in a continent. And to the glory of God, the girls and the technical crew gave it their all, but it took some doing. It took some doing. They had to show their bravery. They have to show their dexterity. And at the final analysis, like I said, the Nigerian spirit of never say never, never say die came to the fore, and it is now history.
Talking about the Nigerian spirit, never say never. What does that tell of Nigerians seeing that performance? Definitely, the Super Falcons were one team to beat in this tournament.
Well, we've hosted the WAFCON 3 times, and we've won them. 2 countries have hosted 3 times. Another team 2 times. Equatorial Guinea has hosted it twice and had won it twice. Nigeria, Equatorial Guinea have won it, and so for me, and Morocco hosted. They just hosted this one, and the next edition they will be host again. So it's going to be bloody next edition. I'm just foreseeing that. But for this particular one, I give kudos to the team. That never dies spirit. In Spain, they call it remontada. For those who follow football in Spain, Ajibade, our captain, plays in Atletico de Madrid in Spain. Shola had also played in Spain. So that belief, that understanding that we could come back has always been there. And when you have that belief that even if you fall, it's not about falling or the number of times you had fallen. It's a matter of how are you able to come back when you're falling. So that never dies spirit rejuvenated in the girls, and that believe that yes, we can against all odds. I watched the semi-final matches, Nigeria against Zambia, that we defeated them 5-0, and watched this same Morocco against Ghana. And I was telling my friend, we're arguing, and we're like, between these Moroccans and Ghana, who should we be concerned more to play, because we have won us, and the second semi-final was being played. And I was telling my friend, I fear Ghana, and they were leading when I walked away from the match that Ghana was beating these Moroccans. And I was surprised that he got squared up, and the Moroccans scaled through. You understand, that against Ghana, and I was quite surprised. I was telling my friend, these Ghanaians, if we eventually, they are muscular and they are more rugged and solid. I see them very huge and tall, and if we get to meet them, it's going to be a very tough match. But lo and behold, that's football for you, and that's why they say it's 90 minutes. Anything can happen, even in a split second. It has happened before. Go back memory lane, go to the Olympics, how Kanu Nwankwo did it for Nigeria against Brazil. So that belief that we can, it's a matter of put your hands together, believe that you can, and with the right players and the right understanding, in every 90 minutes, 120 minutes, I believe you can. And that's what played out for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Kudos to them, kudos to the team, kudos to everybody who supported the team and believe that mission, yes, the Super Falcons, believe that Mission X is possible. And the coach, Madugu, is an homegrown coach. And for me, this one thing I keep telling people, and I believe that let's try to do more of the homegrown thing. Like even the Super Falcons, a chunk of this team are homegrown, and this is an avenue for them to explode and be signed by various clubs abroad. You understand? So for me, give these young lads, both the coaching crew and the girls, these are girls version now, and they get to pick from Robo Queens, Bayelsa Queens, Rivers Angels, Delta Queens. Give them the opportunity to showcase their talent at the global stage, and you will be shocked at what they will bring to the table. Don't forget, even in this World Cup, the current African best, the current female African best, didn't see much playing time in this tournament. Talking about Ashista Tosola, you understand? But she has won it 6 times, but she had limited time, and a few young stars, you stopped the space, and she literally watched the tournament from the bench. You understand? So for me, it's a good one. The Madugu is a homegrown coach. The former foreign coach we had, we parted ways with him and believed in Madugu, and this is what it has given us and brought us this glory. So for me, let's encourage them, let's develop them more, and we believe that with the opportunity and with the right technicalities in place and with the support of government, we could do more and we could excel and shock the world. Like I said, the world should watch and wait for us when we get into the next World Cup.
Thank you very much, Godwin. That's putting the right peg in the right hole. Now, we'll take a short break now. The conversation will continue after the break. Don't go away.
The implementation of the ruling is also dependent on another aspect or another arm of government.
Nowhere in the world will allow under digital economy for banks not to be dispensing domestic currency in that economy.
What will make this one different?
We want to know what they do as occupation. All of these are attributes that are questions have been designed to investigate.
In a few days to come, you see that we are all around their own crannies and everywhere in Nigeria, telling people to cooperate.
Welcome to Nigeria Today. Welcome back. This is still Nigeria Today, and we are celebrating the Super Falcons. And of course, I have here in the studio a gentleman, and also via Zoom another gentleman. Now, Abdurrahman, you heard, of course, what Godwin said there about the Super Falcons, how the coach, of course, the technical team, put the round peg in the round hole. You know, so what is unique about the strategy of the coach in this, that led to this victory?
Well, for Coach Justin Madugu, a local lad, so to speak, I think he has, given one up for local Nigerian coaches, because if he had failed, the onus would have been on whoever appointed him to carry the cane, because a lot of people, a school of thought, would have wished that a foreign coach would have been better placed. They have their reasons, but those of us who are rooting for an indigenous coach, we've now also been vindicated by the strategy that Coach Madugu has adopted. Pointedly, like my colleague there has stated, he has, brought out a chunk of his players from the local league. The people running the Nigerian Women Professional League are doing a wonderful job. Edo Queens, Delta Queens, Rivers Angels, Nasarawa, Amazons, and so on and so forth. The league is vibrant. What is needed is consistent support so that more and more players can be, discovered. And Madugu has believed in youth, like my colleague has stated. Even the current African Footballer of the Year for the ladies, Aziza Doshola, mostly sat out this tournament. Another gifted footballer named Gift Monday was entirely left out of the squad. That shows you abundance of talents, abundance of riches. I'm sure if the Falcons had not won, the absence of these two players from the pitch would have been a point to take on Justin Madugu, but he has been vindicated. His choices have been vindicated. What to do now is continue in this trend. He should be supported, given all manner of support by the Ibrahim Gusau-led NFF, and of course the Shehu Diko-led National Sports Commission. What the Falcons did is something that every Nigerian team that reaches this zenith somehow digs deep to bring out. If you look back at history, way back in 1968, I think, at the Olympics, a Nigerian Olympic football team was trailing Brazil by 3-0 in Mexico. Somehow they managed to to claw back 3 goals and ended that match 3-3. The watch in surprise. That was repeated 11 years later in 1989. I think the miracle of Daman, very fresh to some of us, where the then Soviet Union led Nigeria by 4-0, and the Flying Eagles came back, drew, scored 4 goals, drew the match, and eventually won on penalties, going on to become silver medalists in the then World Youth Championship that Saudi Arabia hosted. And of course, you can go on and on. The latest one here by the Falcons shows that once you put the right people in there, the right determination, the right motivation, Nigerians will deliver. What I only crave for, especially to the soccer authorities and the sports authorities in general, is that whatever promises have been made to the Falcons, they should be fulfilled. For instance, Shehu Diko, the National Sports Commission chairman, has been reportedly said to have directed the NFF that whatever is due to the Falcons from the prize money of this competition should be paid to them before the NFF touches that money. And we hear it's in excess of about $1.5 million. Let the right thing be done. The people who have sweated it out, broken their sweat for the nation, should not be forgotten. And of course, once this is done, people who want to be, who are selected to do for the country what Nigeria wants to do, win, they will always be ready to do it. And of course.
Thank you very much, Abdurrahman, for that, for that speech. Now, Godwin, we talked so much about what Coach Madugu did for these ladies that brought about this victory. Can same be replicated for the Super Eagles?
Well, I believe same can be replicated for the Super Eagles. It's a matter of belief. Starting from September, first week of September, Nigeria will be in the World Cup qualifiers against South Africa. So let's start it from there. It's an uphill task, and if they believe they can, and I know they can, if the Super Eagles put their acts in order, we must go to the World Cup. You understand? So they must beat South Africa. Right now the country is hot and everybody's looking at the Super Falcons. They've gone, they went, they conquered. They came back with the trophy and they've qualified for the World Cup. Now Super Eagles, whatever you must do to ensure that you also find your way to the next World Cup. So I believe with the motivation, for example, the money given to the ladies by CAF in $1 million, and what my elder has said there, the NFF have directed that 30% of that money be paid to the players directly into their account, and it was confirmed that all the match bonuses and allowance were given to them even before that final was played. So you could see the motivation. The first lady called them when they were 2 goals down. You could see the motivation. So everything that it's needed. If you're giving everything and you lose, then your village people have searched, have found you out. But
this thing about village people, leave village people out of this.
But for example,
they have no hand.
No, for example, if you're not giving the right atmosphere, you're not giving the materials to work, and you didn't deliver, you blame things. But this one, money has been given to you, everything has been given to you, and you still cannot deliver. Then your village people are there, have come. So for me, Coach Madugu, rounding it up, has done it. And for me, I'm proud of him as being a local coach. For me, let's support him and also encourage more local coaches to come and ensure that this thing is about, if I look at you and I like what you're doing, I will do more. As the captain today came from the local league, Robo Queens.
Yes.
She followed the footsteps of Ashita Joshua, and today she is captain of the Super Falcons.
Thank you very much.
Let's keep
Godwin.
following. Let's keep following the right track, and I know that we will do well.
Thank you very much. All eyes on Super Eagles now. The Falcons have done it. Now we are waiting for the Super Eagles to also do same, replicate same, and bring the victory to Nigeria. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Godwin Nwidobie, sports analyst. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. It's always my pleasure.
And also via Zoom is Abdurrahman Ibn Muhammad, is a sports analyst and a consultant. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Welcome.
And thank you for being part of the program. I'm Eukaria Clinton. Goodbye.